How are you guys? Hope everybody's doing well. Happy Memorial Day in the United States. Today, the how to, we're gonna talk, or I'm gonna talk about we are traveling right now and how we had to prepare for the traveling. So, our nomad life, for those who don't know, we are, my wife and I, we live in a nomad life right now. We live in an RV and we travel in the RV, but in this case, within the traveling in the RV, we had to, and this is in Europe, we had to come to here in the United States for a wedding, okay? And it's actually daughter's wedding. And we had to prepare that for the RV and the cats in this case to be taken care of while we do that. So is something that seems like, oh, there's no problem, but we have to, it's a little bit more than when you have a property, a house or something like that, because you have to then find where you can park the waters. You have to, you know or my advice is that if you're going to do this type of traveling and you have to leave the camping car somewhere or the motorhome, so the RV somewhere, you make sure that you take care of the waters, the gray waters, dark waters, clear waters, and do it so you leave it, you know, like in the best conditions possible. That's advice because again, it's gonna be park. Very little of it is most probably gonna be used, and if the person that you're living in with is not super comfortable with the RV and going and doing some of the changing of the water or cleaning it or so on, clearing, doing the type of dumping and all that, or like we are explaining in some other videos, then you have to make sure that you leave it clean enough and all that. So for the days that you're gonna be traveling, you can not have problems when you come back and have all these to take care of, because it accumulates, you know, where it's okay, it's safe, and somebody can, get to it to help you take care of the pets. And in this case, just to get to it, because we wanted them to stay in their familiar place, in their house, basically. Okay? And the place where we park, it has to be spacious, big enough for parking an RV. And our RV is not the huge, big ones RV, but it's fairly big. And what the procedure was really was similar when you have a property house. The only thing is that then we had to explain exactly where things were, how, where the gas is, how it works, where things like the alarm, where we do, so is all these things that are similar to when you have a more what is called sedentary life, when you're in the same place, but at the same time you're doing it where you have this nomad life, and then it's kind of a mix of explaining a home and a car in the same, which is the same, so you explain that, but you explain the things of the car, of what, how they leave the key in case they have to move it. We were lucky that we found family who has enough space where we can park and do that, and also have somebody in the family, a young person who could come and take care of the cats and also watch that. For example, we were concerned a little bit about how warm it was gonna get in these days, so to make sure that there's enough, is fresh enough, and so on. So this is the how to. It's not a long one, as many of you follow the um, channel know, I'm following me also in Facebook and so on. They know we're traveling. Adriana La Beba is getting married, so we actually came to the United States for the wedding and so on, and then we had to take care of these things. The how to was the preparation of it. So there's things that you had to take care of it. You had to find out where you can park that is big enough and the people are okay with it. If it's gonna cost you something, if you have animals, who's gonna take care of them, If it's simple for you to travel with them, then maybe you want to do that. But in the restriction with COVID and all that, sometimes that's not simple. And especially if you're going to go from, different continents, that's then, it's not always as straight through. And then, when you do that, what are the, the little things, that are special for your place, which is your vehicle, which is your RV, okay? So that's why the how to, I would say, make sure that you find a big enough space, make sure that you do it ahead of time, that you can actually park where you can see how the area is, I would not advise that you do it from one day to the other. It's not advisable, because then you don't know, what can happen. So you need to be a few days there to see how it works, unless you know the day in advance, and then make sure that you have a good communication with the person, who is taking care of it, and so on. So if you have any commentaries or any questions more specific, it has to be short. It's the wedding weekend. I'll be in the wedding too, so we've been, doing some things with family and so on. But I hope everybody's doing well. Ciao.